you have to just keep in mind that if the consumer have affordability to buy any product, okay, they will demand for that particular product. What ultimately organization will do, organization will produce more products. Okay, if they produce more product, mean they will utilize more factor of productions. Okay, this is like a chain, this is like a circle. If you will demand more products, organization will make more products. And if they want to make more products, what they will utilize more factor of production resources. Okay, that the demand for the factor of production is drive demand, as it is determined by the demand for the good and services, just like a labor demand. Got my point? Keep an eye on the screen. The other one is the availability of the factors. Firms will also demand the factors that are easily available and accessible to them. If the firm is located in a region where there is a large pool of the skilled labor, it will be demand more labor as opposed to capital. The next one is the price of the factors. If labor is more expensive than capital, firms will demand more capital and vice versa. Very easy to understand. If labor is more expensive than capital, firms will demand more capital. Of course, because you can't afford the labor, and they want to reduce the cost and maximize the profit. Okay. The last thing is the productivity of the factors. If labor is more productive than capital, then obviously that labor is demanded, and then vice versa. Okay. So is why you demand for a particular person or for a particular product, because it has more worth as compared to other things. That's what you demanded for that product. Okay, these are some factors you demanded, and you can consider it the demand for the factors of the production. Now, the next topic is what is labor intensive and the capital intensive. If you remember, you already have discussed, and you already have a topic in the business studies, if you covered it or not. You both have labor intensive and the capital intensive. Name suggests labor intensive you more have labor, and in capital intensive you more have capital. Let's say the first one, labor intensive production, is where more labor are employed than other factory. Say capital. Production is mainly depend on the labor. It is usually adopted in a small scale industry, especially those that produce personalized handmade products. For example, hotels and the restaurants. They are those places where you will find more labor. Okay. Now in today world, you can find more robot in such kind of organization. But if you go back to the 5 to 6 year back, these are those places where you will find more labor as compared to machinery. Okay, because they have to do many things. Let's talk about advantages of the labor intensive production. If you are going to produce something where you are going to utilize more of the labor, more of the manpower, what will be the advantages and the disadvantages of that particular process? The first one is flexibility. Labor, unlike the most machinery, can be used flexible to meet the changing level of the consumer demand. Are you agree with that? The other one is personal services. Labor can provide personal touch to the customer needs and wants. Machine can't do that. Machine always do scripted things. Whatever the things you will install into the machine will perform that particular functions. Personalized service. Labors can provide custom products for the different customers. Machinery is not flexible enough to tailor for products for the individual customers. They can't even customize the products. Getting my point? Although it will vary from product to product, but this is a general sense that labor can do. Like for example, if you replace yourself with the machine, Shares, whatever the things you are doing at the moment, Can machine do that? Machine will do those things you will install into the machine. Why? Because machine don't have a mind as you have. Okay? They don't have a mood, feelings, emotions, the things you have. Okay? Gives feedback. Labor can give feedback that provides idea for continuous improvement in the firm. If you replace yourself with the machine, machine won't say that I don't have mood to study anymore. Why? Because this is a machine. But you will say, you always say by the way, but you will say again that I don't have a mood to study. Why? Because machine don't have flexibility. Essential. Labor is essential in case of machine breakdowns. After all, machines are only as good as the labor that builds, maintain and operates them. Okay. Let's talk about some kind of a disadvantages. Labor is comparatively expensive, Sharis, because you have to pay them on a monthly basis. It would be good if you purchase a machine, let's say for 5 lakh or for 1 million, and you just have to maintain it. Okay. On the other hand, the labor is comparatively expensive. You have to pay them extra, like in case in shape of salaries, bonuses, other maintenance costs as well. Okay. So labor intensive production is comparatively what? Is comparatively expensive, inefficient and inconsistent. You won't do sometime task better, like your routine task. The reason could be anything. You didn't eat anything, you would say, I don't have a mind and I don't have a mood to do this stuff because I am hungry. Machine won't say all this stuff. Labor relation problems. If you have a labor intensive for, conflict may arises, as between you and Hamza. Okay. Machine don't have such issues. So both of you, I will suggest you, any one of you who have a big heart can replace him with a machine, so everything remain peaceful and calm. Okay. That was the that was the labor intensive production. The other one is capital intensive production, as name suggests, where you have more capital as compared to man. Capital refers to the machinery, equipment, tools, building and the vehicle used in the production. It also means that investment required to do production, where more capital is employed than other factors. It is a production which requires relatively high level of capital investment compared to the labor cost. For example, car manufacturing, where you have to invest more as compared to labors. Might be possible you don't have much labor, but you have much more capital. Let's say what are the advantages and disadvantages of the capital intensive production. Okay. Advantages: less likely to make errors, because you have a machine. It will not make any kind of errors. Got my point? Like a calculator. If I ask you what is the square of the 12, you may make a mistake, but calculator will not. Ultimately, okay. More efficient. You would say, sir, just 1 second. 10 multiplied by 10, 100, and then 144. It will take some time. Calculator will do in a seconds, not in the seconds, maybe before the seconds. The work will be more efficient as compared to human beings. Consistent. 12 square 12, then 13 square 13, 14, and then 7s. Like you can put any kind of a data, any kind of a information, machine will remain consistent. Human, after all, he is a human, he can make a mistake. So comparatively, machine is more consistent. Okay. If you see some kind of a disadvantages, expensive one. We are talking about that particular machinery who can replace the person or a human. Charis, that machine would be more expensive. Lack of flexibility, of course, as we were discussing in the labor extensive for, that labor is flexible, machine is not a flexible. Like machine even can't change its place. What we can discuss other than that of its flexibility? Machinery lacks initiative. You can take some kind of initiatives. You can bring some new ideas, creativity, not the creativity you were reading from yesterday paper, but creativity is something bring some new idea into the business and then innovate that. Okay, machine don't have such kind of a flexibilities.